What's up, guys? This is Briller, and today we're going to be taking the C1 lower advanced test. So there are 6 levels. This is level 5, so it's pretty difficult now, and I'm going to be speaking in English because if you're at this level, you can probably understand English. So let's not waste any time and let's get started with this test. You guys can kind of follow along and see my reasoning for the answers I choose. So let's start right here, part A. Choose the correct option. Okay, number 1, all my life, I loved going to the movies. I have loved to go to the movies, or I've loved going to the movies. Love is one of those verbs where the following verb should be in the ing form, even though it's not incorrect to say to go, but it's a lot more natural to keep it in the ing form. So it's probably either A or C. The only difference there is I've loved or I loved. Let's see, the action of loving a movie started in the past and is continuing till now, unless you're dead or unless you're so old and you don't go to movies anymore. Like, I loved going to the movies. So I'm assuming it's C. I've loved going to the movies all my life, okay? Unless you're about to die, it would be A. Or if you're dead and somehow talking, it could be A. Let's look at 2. There you are. I have waited for ages. I have been waiting for ages, or I waited for ages. So with the verb wait, it's usually going to be in this style because waiting itself is usually like a very short-term temporary action, and it's not going to be in this usually longer term verb tense. I have waited. So the progressive past perfect is probably better. I have been waiting for ages. I waited for ages, that's okay, but since the waiting stops right now, there you are now, you can't really say I waited. If this conversation took place in 10 minutes, he said I waited for ages. But since the waiting has just now stopped, I have been waiting for ages. So let's go to number 3. He's had his car when he passed his driving test, since he passed his driving test, or as he passed his driving test. So when, since, or as. As means while or during. So he's had his car while he's taking the test. No, it's not as he passed it, he's had his car. And now I want to focus on he's had. So this verb tense, again, it's he got his car, and ever since that moment he has had his car until this present moment. When is describing a specific moment in time. So it'd have to be since, because since is talking about since a certain time until now, which is perfect with this verb tense because they align. Starting in the past, continuing till now. So that makes sense. So he's had his car since he passed his driving test. Good. Number 4. I don't think Tokyo is as dangerous like London, is so dangerous as London, or is as dangerous as London. So this is a very common structure for comparatives. We are comparing 2 things, in this case Tokyo and London, and we're saying one is more adjective than the other. So I don't think Tokyo, we use as adjective as, so it's C. That's just something you gotta know. You gotta say as adjective as the other comparative, okay? So Brian is as fast as Usain Bolt. Not true, but the example is good English. Number 5. He looks just as his father. He looks just like his father, or he looks just after his father. Looks after does not mean like they have a similar appearance. Looks as, we do not say he looks as, we say looks like. There is a phrasal verb, take after, which could also mean similar appearance. Take after means you follow the similar behavior. Like if I say, I take after my dad, and my dad was a tennis player, and I play tennis, I could say, I take after my dad, he played tennis. But looks like is the best for, in Italian, assomigliare, or to look similar. We say looks like, so it's B. Number 6, your birthday is next month, isn't it? Your birthday will be next month, won't it? Or your birthday is going to be next month, isn't it? This is a tricky question because since your birthday is next month, you think, this has to be future. But your birthday itself is not the actual date. It's a concept. It's something. And that something is the truth every day. So it's actually present. So your birthday is next month, isn't it? I know that's abstract, but you don't say in Italian, il mio compleanno sarà il 27 aprile. You just say, it is April 27th. So it's the same in English. We just use the present tense. Okay, number 7. The doctor said it was nothing to worry about. The doctor said it's nothing. Don't worry. The doctor said it isn't something to worry about. This question is strange because all 3 of these are correct except for this doesn't have an apostrophe. I think that's a little bit strange because it should be present still and it's now in the past. Although the doctor said it in the past, I'm sure the something is still existing. I'm gonna go with C, but this is a strange question and it might even be A. I don't like this question. It isn't something to worry about. It was nothing to worry about. Those are both acceptable. Let's just move on and see what the correct answer for number 7 is. Let's remember number 7. Okay, number 8. I can't imagine why he said that. I might imagine why he said that, or I don't imagine why he said that. So this has to be A. I can't imagine. I can't imagine is kind of like a pre-made phrase something. We don't really say I don't imagine. We never really say I don't imagine. I might imagine means you're considering doing it, like maybe you will imagine it. But the whole point is he can't imagine it because it's not like this person, it's not something he would say normally. So it's difficult to imagine. You can't imagine it. Non riesci ad immaginare che lui, una persona così, ha detto questa cosa. That's how I would say this in Italian. So I think the best answer is A. I actually know the answer is A. Number 9, the painting sold for 3,000 euros. The painting was sold for 3,000 euros, or the painting was being sold for 3,000 euros. So right off the bat, I'll tell you, was being sold is not good because selling something is an instantaneous action, so it doesn't need to be in this strange verb tense. So it should be either the painting was sold or the painting sold. I think the best in this case is B. The painting sold, although the painting sold makes sense too. So again, A and B are both good. Wow, that's really difficult. That's really difficult because both of these sentences, for me, they're totally good. I'm gonna actually go with A because you can say the painting sold for, you can say how much it sells for without saying it is sold for. So let's keep this modal verb out of there and let's just say sold. I have never been such embarrassed, so embarrassed, such an embarrassed in all my life. This is just gonna be so embarrassed. This is an adjective. If this was a noun, it would be such. Like, I've never been such an amazing person. Or I've never been so an amazing person. That's bad. So is good for an adjective. Such is good for a noun. So let's go with so. Embarrassed is an adjective. Okay? Number 11. Having spoken to, or speaking to Richard, it seems he finally made his decision. So this would be like avendo parlato con. The answer is going to be B. Had spoken to, you can't start a sentence like that. Speaking to Richard means you are talking to him now. Having spoken means like I have talked to him, and knowing that I've talked to him, now I know it seems he's finally made his decision. So I think it's like avendo parlato con Richard, lui si è presa la decisione. So let's go with B. Okay, so let me shrink this a little bit. Fill in the appropriate verb to form the expression. Okay, so here we go. This might actually be difficult, so bear with me, but let's do this. To break a leg. That's the first one. I see leg, and I know break a leg is like a modo di dire. It's a saying to say like good luck. Let's see. To fill a vacancy. A vacancy is like vuoto. Maybe you say vacante in Italian, I'm not sure, but you fill something like that. Let's see, what about a tooth? To form, cut, save, read, play, keep, lay, take, make, form. Not sure, right then. What about to save time? That makes sense. What about something accompany? What about read? Read between the lines. It means like, read between the lines means like, notice all the small details. Think about everything. Get the hidden message. To cut an opinion, cut allowances, cut precautions, cut a tooth, cut truant, cut the table, cut a company, cut house. I think cut allowances, like shorten the amount of pay. To play an opinion, to play precautions, play a tooth, play truant, play the table, play a company, play house. Not sure about that one. To form an opinion, I think is good. It means over time you kind of build an opinion. To take precautions, like to make sure, to be aware, to be careful, take precautions. Let's see. To form, I'd say that's a company, similar to an opinion. Like you're building a company, you're making something. Make, to play, keep, to make house, to lay house, to keep house, to play house. I'm not sure I'm gonna go with keep. To keep house. I think it means to like maintain people. Let's say play truant. Guys, I'm not even sure what play truant is. What does truant is like a traitor, I'm assuming. Let's see what it says. Going against your own country. Or yeah, or being absent. Okay, yes. That's true. So to play truant, I think that's okay. To lay a tooth or make a tooth. Make the table or lay the table. I would have said set the table, but let's go with to lay a tooth. I have no idea what that means, and to make the table. Sometimes these tests have the weirdest questions, like even to keep house. Like what? But let's go to part C. Choose the appropriate preposition. It was really nice of you. Nice of something, someone to do something. The house has been on the market. Something is on the market. I'm not very good at maths, and I can tell this is a British exam because we say math without the S in America. You are under no obligation to go. He is in charge of the whole department. Robert is an authority. Let me skip that. You must be responsible for your decisions. I'm very concerned, I'd say about his smoking. Could you deal with this problem later? I want to protest the state of the building. Protest on, protest over, protest about, protest over. I'd say protest over. Robert is an authority on English literature. In, I think, is the best. Wow, so this got difficult fast. Keep in mind, like, I am a native speaker, so if it's difficult for me and it's difficult for you, don't worry, because you're seeing my responses to these, and half the time when you get to this high of a level, you have to think of stuff that's so strange that even to me, half of it doesn't make sense. So let's see how I did. Okay, incorrect 7. So let's take a look. I remember talking about number 7 and 9. This is totally fine. C is totally fine, so I'm surprised that it said that. Again, A and B, these are both acceptable. Like the painting was sold for, those are both acceptable. I'm not sure what they're trying to trick. Okay, to lay the table, I'm not sure what that means. We say set the table. To cut a tooth, no idea what that means. And to make allowances as opposed to cut allowances. Okay. Robert is an authority on English literature. Okay, fair enough. And I want to protest about the state of the building. You could have just said I want to protest the state. There is no need for a preposition there, but I got 7 questions wrong. Yeah, I don't know if I even want to take C2, but guys, I'm pretty sure you'll do better than me. This was difficult. The questions were a little strange. That's my excuse, but good luck to you. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.